Okay, so this is a good one. So external rotation of the hips. Now, we talk a lot about internal rotation of the hips in level 1, right?
Yeah.
So obviously in the backswing, so just I'll kind of talk about this first, and Dave, we can talk about golf swing. As we go back, the lead hip is externally rotating, as the trail hip is internally rotating. So I'm loading internally rotating here, but I'm externally rotating here. And then on the downswing, the complete opposite occurs, right? I'm going to internally rotate here and externally rotate here. Now, with that said, okay, there are a lot of players today, especially some of the biggest hitters, right? Like we just had a power level 2 class, right? We talked about this a lot, like with Jason Zubek, is as a lot of these players load here, they just lift this foot up.
They do.
Now when you lift this foot up, when you lift the lead heel up off the ground, it dramatically reduces your need to externally rotate. You really don't even have any load on this, right? Same thing on the downswing. If I do this correctly and I weight shift, right? A lot of times when I weight shift, this leg will rotate internally here, so I'm not really externally rotating. So you can talk about this, but I would say that one of the biggest problems we have with external rotation is well, I'd say it's two things. Number one, it's thinking my lower body has to stay stable and rotate around here is one of the biggest killers in mobility, whereas if they let this go, because now you do need external, internal. If I let it go, I only need internal. And then on the downswing would be, if you hang back over here, well, you put this entire hip in play. But if you actually weight shift properly, it's not going to be a huge issue.
Yeah, so what I would say though too is that you often get, like if you ever see this one where you get almost like a reverse hip move, right? A reverse hip. Sometimes the hip that's good, the internal rotation, takes over. This won't come with me because the external is limited. So what they do is they just stay on that side and they'll go this way, right? Sometimes you see that. On the downswing, a lot of times you'll see problems with the knees will drive or buckle underneath them. They're trying to get up to the golf ball, but because of their limited external moving through, they drive their knee and you'll see the side bend type stuff. So again, there's lots of things you can do. As Greg said, lift the heel up, let this foot come up. There's a lot of golf instructors that want you to keep the right foot planted and rotate around the right foot. That might not be good for somebody that has poor external rotation. They might actually want to drive off that foot because it'll help get them through the ball. And if you are limited, you might create too much side bend, which would put pressure on your lower back. So there are tricks to it: lifting the feet, fanning the feet, dropping the feet back. Those are all little things that you can do.
So one other thing on here is that okay, if you do this, if you go this way, that actually puts stress on external rotation, right? So the good news is staying back here puts a little less stress on the external rotation. And I think a lot of people think, okay, on the downswing, my trail hip, so my back leg is internally rotated right now. Now I'm going to start to externally rotate, which is true. It's starting to externally rotate. But it doesn't start from zero. It starts from like 40 degrees internally rotated. So it's externally rotating. Now it's at zero, right? So you don't really need 40 external to let that foot go off the ground, right? So if you're going to be limited in your hips and you're a golfer, make it external rotation, right? That would be the great one. Internal rotation, you're in trouble.